talking about the Titans here. The Titans.
Swing and a drive, left field. It's gone. It is gone. It is bedlam at the bank.
The Philadelphia Phillies are 2008 World Champions of Baseball.
Podcast right here. You already know. Go fucking subscribe.
You are now listening to the 302 Birds Phillies postgame show with KJ McCoy, Ballpark Tommy, Dalt, and Fratty. Proudly powered by TickPick. Check out the link in the bio for $10 off your first order today. Let's take it to the show.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome on into the Phillies midday afternoon post-game show. Was a little bit of a late one last night, but the Phillies got it done to win the first game of their series against the San Francisco Giants 6-4. A little bit of a seventh inning comeback where they put up 4 runs in the top of the seventh to come back and win that one. The bullpen got it done. Alec Boehm came through. Bryce Harper had a 3-for-4 game. So solid day at the office for the offense and a great way to get your first win of the opening series at a ballpark in San Francisco, whether that be AT&T Ballpark, Oracle Park, whatever you want to call it, since 2014. But joining me today, as always, is the one, the only, the legendary Fratty James Ratatoni. How we doing, my friend?
Doing good. I mean, oh man, that was a pleasant surprise coming down back from 4-0 in San Francisco, and we have a chance to do something we haven't done. I think in close to a decade, is possibly win a series in San Francisco later on tonight or tomorrow, whatever. But the feeling of winning the series right now is pretty high after what happened last night, especially with Sanchez in the mound. And we'll see. Well, I guess we'll talk about Sanchez a little bit later in the show, but yeah.
Yeah, well, first off, I mean, I think we got to talk about, Bryce Harper, because everybody's been all, worried about the guy, after the not elite comments. And we were all kind of worried, but he showed out because top of the 5th inning, he started, or I don't want to say started, but started to get the comeback really going after Trey Turner had an RBI ground out that scored JT. Bryce Harper had a really nice double. I thought that sucker was going to be gone, if I'm being completely honest. I thought that had the distance, the height to get over that pretty high wall in right field into the bay, but he hit a ball to right center field, brought in Justin Crawford and made it a 2-4 game. Then at the top of the 7th, Bryce Harper came in clutch, singling on a ground ball to right field. Crawford scored, Trey Turner scored, and Kyle Schwarber landed at second base and got that huge 7th inning rolling for the Phillies. Like I said, 4 runs in the top of the 7th, and that eventually pushed them to a 6-4 victory to open up the series against the San Francisco Giants. But Friday, how about that night from Bryce Harper?
Oh, it was great. A great night by Bryce Harper. I mean, he's known to hit pretty decent in Apple. I say AT&T, Oracle Park. He's starting to heat it up a little bit as of late. I mean, he's not. I mean, he's been up and down this year so far, but as the season's progressing, I expect him to heat it up a little bit more. Um, I know last night he had a big night. He's doing he's showing up for all the people who have him in fantasy baseball, including me. Uh, but anyway, getting back to Bryce, I mean, I think you continue keeping him in the three slot. You don't make any changes in the lineup. Apparently people are talking about, we should change around lineup like this, we should change like this. Honestly, with us starting off 6-4, I wouldn't really change. I wouldn't really panic with changing the lineup because if you keep being over aggressive, I know getting off top. If you keep getting over aggressive with changing around the lineup around a guy like Bryce Harper, then it could be a recipe for absolute disaster. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, especially after that night from everybody really involved. Um, my biggest concern, honestly, was that four spot. After I know there's not a graphic for this, but I was really concerned about what Alec Bohm was bringing to the table the last couple days. But honestly, he was my player of the game in that huge win for the Phillies to open up the series. He broke through in the seventh. He doubled on a ground ball to center fielder, the right fielder, Jung-Hoo Lee, brought in Kyle Schwarber and Bryce Harper to third base. I really thought I think there was one out at the time, and I'm like, oh my God, he's going to ground into a double play again. It grounded out into one earlier of the day. And I was like, oh my God, he's going to do it again, and this game's going to remain tied. And then they're going to have to bring in, a Kyle Buckus, who actually was sent to AAA today. But they're going to bring in him, and he's going to stink because Painter had some growing pains and an off day. But Bohm came through. So, thoughts on Alec Bohm last night, and do you think that he is going to keep this up?
I think he's still gonna be a very up and down type of player. Sorry about the choke there for a second. I just think you're gonna see this. You're gonna see the ups and downs of Alec Bohm. This is going to be one of those seasons where you see the ups and downs of Bohm. And yeah, that's all I don't have much to say about Bohm and all. We got to see how he does against the NL East. Well, not only just everybody from outside division, but I'm interested to see how does Alec Bohm how is he going to hit against teams from National League East like New York Mets pitching, Atlanta Braves pitching, because division games are probably going to be since division's so tight and competitive this early on. Division games are going to be so important this season. And yeah, and I'll talk about the game that's on right now at the later on. But yeah,
So good stuff from the Phillies offense, but man, from the Phillies pitching perspective, domination from the bullpen after admittedly a tough Painter start. I think that the guy, he's just going through growing pains, and this bullpen certainly picked him up. But to hit Painter for just like 2 seconds after what we saw from him previous start, his first start, I still have faith in the guy. The guy was still pretty good in that first inning. The second and third were really where he sort of struggled, but it's a second start, man. And for people that are overreacting, just shut up. He's gonna be fine. The dude is a number 1 draft pick for a reason, and I see no reason why this guy isn't still gonna have a successful major league career going forward. But after Painter, man, This bullpen has been absolutely outstanding and was dominant last night. I got a good fact to you, brought to you by Phillies Tailgate on Twitter. The Phillies bullpen has allowed zero earned runs in their last 16. The Phillies bullpen has allowed 0 earned runs in their last 16 innings pitched. 16 innings, 4 hits, 2 walks, 0 earned runs, and 20 strikeouts. 20. And, I mean, you saw from pretty much everybody last night. You saw from Tim Mesa, who the Phillies brought back very late in the offseason. That got him the win, his first of the year, in that 5th inning. And then Jonathan Bolin came in. He's been a little up and down, but the guy had 2 strikeouts in the 6th. Then Jose Alvarado came in. He faced, he went 1 inning. He struck out a guy and looked really good. Brad Keller came in, looked a little dicey, I won't lie, with 1 hit, but he came in with 2 strikeouts on the day. Then, of course, Johan Duran came in the 9th, did what he does best, and got the win for the Phillies to win their first game, again, of the stretch versus the San Francisco Giants. I think the first of, 3 games before they go off to Arizona. But Friday, how about that bullpen performance by the Philadelphia Phillies?
Unbelievable. The bullpen, I'll tell you what, the bullpen, unbelievable. I'll tell you what, I'm gonna quote everybody on this. I remember I said this. This might be one of the more elite bullpens the Phillies have had compared to the last 2 seasons. And when I say elite, the bullpen's very elite. I mean, think about it. I heard, I think yesterday, that Kerkering is coming back. He's being activated today. You send Kyle Backus down. I know Kyle Backus looked rough in his very first start, but you tell me that if if one guy was hurt, gets hurt, got Kyle Backus, the guy who could throw underhand, who's not too bad. You mean it? So pretty much the bullpen, your bullpen depth chart is pretty good. I mean, you have a guy you can rely on from the minor leagues that can actually go out there and get the job done. I know, like I said, his first start wasn't that great back on, I think it was opening day or it was the first weekend of the season. It was opening day. But I'll tell you what, guys, I'm really confident in Phillies pen, and I'll tell you what, this offseason may have not been the greatest for the Phillies, but they really addressed the bullpen. I really got to give props to Dave Dombrowski on this. But you mean to tell me 16-something shutout innings or whatever in a row? I mean, you can't ask anything better than this. I mean, and if you have Ballpark Brad, you got a Ballpark Brad and Brad Keller. You got what's the name, Durantula. You got a guy who that is going to be in the minors for now, who can throw underhanded, a guy up and down bowling who's been looking good lately, and then on top of that, you got Jose Alvarado, who's going to be here this year, and barring he doesn't get trouble in PEDs again. You got him in there, and then on top of that, you got, what's the name? Tim Mesa, who's been looking good. So I'm telling you what, the Philadelphia Phillies bullpen is absolutely scary. And I know me and you said they were going to lose in the NLDS, but if the Phillies offense can actually come true like this in the postseason, if they can actually live up to the pinnacle of the Phillies franchise, a franchise that's been around since 1883. If they can come up like that and figure their offense out and in the postseason, and their bullpen can look dominant like this. Hitters like Shohei Ohtani, and I'm about to end my rant in a minute, my positive rant. Shohei Ohtani, Kyle Tucker, and I promise I won't make a meme this year to Dodgers. Shohei Ohtani, Kyle Tucker, Teoscar Hernandez. If they struggle against this Phillies scary bullpen and our starters don't mess up, the Phillies have a chance to dethrone the Dodgers. Just like Philly Shardy the other year on a social media made the Chiefs three-peat, stopping the Chiefs three-peat video. So I'm just saying it like it is. The Phillies can dethrone the Dodgers if they do the right thing. So
Yeah, well, Dal, let me say that ballpark, Brad. I don't know what, Fratty, you might be cooking with that nickname. I know you came up with a bunch of nicknames, for the 302 guys. That's a good. Honestly, you might be cooking. You might be cooking with gas. I like that nickname a lot. And I think Brad Keller is going to be awesome for this Philly squad. I know he's been rough these last couple of games, but he looked good tonight, and he was honestly one of the better relievers, most underrated relievers in all of the sport with Chicago Cubs last year. His first year as a breakout sort of candidate, and the Phillies jumped on it, got him that 2-year deal, and this game is all about the momentum swings in this game. And Philly saw momentum, from what he got. Listen, the guy pumps 95, 96. He sits about 96. And this bullpen is full of freaking flame throwers because you have Duran, you have Alvarado, you have now Keller. You've got, honestly, I'll throw Kirkering in that mix. His fastball and especially his slider is kind of ridiculous. So let's talk about him because Ryan Kirkering is coming back tonight for the first time since that dreaded walk-off error by him against the Dodgers. Had some injury that he was dealing with. I think he had a procedure or something along those lines, and he was the honor picks to start the year. Now he's back to a revitalized Phillies bullpen, like you said, Fratty. Expectations now for Ryan Kirkering. What are they?
I mean, hold up, sorry, I thought my thing broke up for a minute. Yeah, here's my thing. I want to forget. I mean, coming off of last season nightmare, I was very frustrated and all. I got mad at Kirkering, but looking back at it and months later, I can't really blame the guy because the offense. I blame the offense more there now because they couldn't even score more than a run in that game, and you can't blame the man because I know he made a mistake throwing, but still, I mean, you can't blame him for that because the offense had to score runs that series for us to when we wouldn't be in that position. It wouldn't have been his fault. You see what I'm saying there, Jesse? And that's the reason why we were in that position. We put him in a pressure position because the offense wasn't supporting the pitchers back then in that playoff series, for the most part, except that one game and all. But my expectation, he's gonna have a great year. Come on, KJ. I mean, looking, you kind of have to blame on the offense on that. He's tall and new to arm. I mean, the offense didn't score more than a run, but it is what it is. But focusing on this year, I don't even want to talk about that nightmare last year. I expect him to be a pitcher that has an ERA of under 2. I expect him to be a dominant, elite pitcher, and I expect him, if we make a deep run miraculously in the postseason, he will be the Phillies' ultimate redeemer. And KG, you can hate and call him noodle arms all you want, but he will be a redeemer in 2026. I'm calling it in the postseason. If the Phillies make a deeper run than what me and Jesse expected, he will save himself from utter disaster 2 years in a row.
Yeah, we'll see
Oh, we're
about
not
that.
for second year's a charm.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. It was a rough go for Kirkering, in that series. But I think about the mental health aspect of things. Going through that is such a tough thing mentally to deal with because you worry about it the entire offseason. You're like, oh my God, does this team is this team gonna have my back? And does this team trust me to be that guy in the 6th or 7th inning from now on? And it messes with your head, especially in that moment. It was tough. So, I mean, honestly, he made a mistake. Sure, I don't deny that it won the Dodgers that series, but I just think of the mental health aspects of it all, and I really am pushing for the guy to prove the haters wrong after this upcoming year because he's got a lot right now, but I remember I forget if it was him or somebody else, but he was interviewed a few months into his tenure, and he came up with an acronym. Like it was something like F all hitters or something like that, FAFO or something along those lines. And I think if there's a guy that can deal with a situation like that, it's 100% him. And I do expect him to have a rebound year and prove the doubters wrong for sure. But that being said, got to move on to tonight's game. It's another late nighter. Unfortunately for us, so that definitely means that we'll be on tomorrow morning, afternoon, possibly to cover this one. But you've got Sanchez on the bump today, and I have whoops. We gotta talk about Sanchez because it's a little bit of a rough one against the Washington Nationals. But now this is a huge test for Sanchez to win the series for the Phillies for the first time in around a decade. The Phillies have the opportunity to sweep for the first time, I think, since 2013. But pitcher friendly ballpark, and a guy that I called for to win the whole darn thing in the NL Cy Young race. I think it's a good chance for him to show what he's really made of. And honestly, the Giants lineup does not have all that much success against the guy in going forward. Their best hitter it's got to be Luis Arias, but he hits good against everybody. It feels like he's a 295 lifetime hitter against Sanchez lifetime. Actually, well, wait a minute. Nope, I have the wrong game. Excuse me. So I'll get you the act. Oh my God, I had the games from the stats from yesterday again. I had the stats from yesterday up, which is my bad. But I'm stalling for just a second. But I do think I'll double check, but I do think that the lineup going into today against Christopher Sanchez, it does not have all the best success in the world against the guy. So Luis Arias still has he's got no home runs and 2 RBIs against the guy lifetime. That still comes out to a 295 average. And the guy that has the most success for him is 1 for 2, what as 1 home run and 2 RBIs with a whopping 190 batting average in Rafael Devers. So the Giants lineup, just like a lot of these lineups, don't have the stats to back up anything against Christopher Sanchez. So that being said, I look for Christopher Sanchez to have a good night against San Francisco. How do you think, Friday? How do you think Christopher Sanchez is going to do tonight against the Giants as he leaves? There's a little bit. I guess there's a little bit of a technical issue on his end, but that being said, I like I mentioned, I think that Christopher Sanchez is going to have a good night. I really think that he's going to, I think that the bullpen is going to have a good night. I don't know if Duran is going to pitch again because I know he's gone for the save the last 4 games in a row, I think. So he might have the night off, but Jose Alvarado might go again. A lot of these guys last night, they went like an inning after Painter came out of the game. So we'll see how they do. I think this offense, again, is primed for some success against Robbie Ray. Coming into today, he's 1-1 on the year with a 3.38 ERA with 11 strikeouts on the year. So, I think that he's going to be he's going to have some trouble against a revitalized Bryce Harper, a revitalized shall I say Alec Boehm, and I think that the Phillies are due for a win. Lifetime. Again, this comes courtesy of Phillies tailgate. Christopher Sanchez has been amazing in his 3 career starts against the San Francisco Giants. 20 innings pitched, 15 hits, 3 earned runs, 3 walks, 27 strikeouts, and a 1.35 ERA. That's amounting to a 0.90 whip on the year. Hope you're good now, Fratty. It seemed like you had a little bit of a connection issue, but we can get into things now. How do you think that Christopher Sanchez is going to do against the San Francisco Giants tonight?
I think he'll do. I think he'll do good. I think I seen it on MLB Network graphic that his ERA is against them all time in 3 starts, 1.35 earned run average wise, which is the crazy stat. Oh, you're breaking up, Jesse. Oh man.
Yeah, you are breaking up on my end.
1.35 earn run average. But yeah, overall, I think he's going to be. I don't think he'll allow more than 2 runs tonight. He shouldn't allow more than 2 runs at least. So
yeah,
I don't have much to say about Sanchez. No much complaints. So
yeah. Well, that being said, I think we are going to end things here, just because Friday's having some technical issues. But game 2 tonight, 9:45 start, a beautiful pitching matchup. Christopher Sanchez goes up against Robbie Ray. We'll have potentially a Friday's quarter segment, next semester, next show. Thinking about college, I gotta apply for classes study first. Sorry, guys. But that being said, that's gonna wrap things up for the Phillies postgame show. I don't even know what you call it after doing it mid-afternoon, but these late games, man, they're just, admittedly, they're a little bit of a killer for us. And shout out to the NBC Sports Group for staying up. Those guys are really they are the best at what they do. But a little late for us. We got work, school in the morning, so That being said, that's going to wrap things up tonight. Today, hopefully the Phillies can get the second win of the series against the San Francisco Giants. And Alec Bohm, Bryce Harper, Bryson Stott can get things rolling, and the Phillies hopefully get the win in San Francisco and go for the sweep the very next day at 3:45 to get their first sweep in over a decade. From Fratty alongside me, I'm Jesse Trone. I want to thank Nick's Pizza for sponsoring today's show, as well as El Diablo's, Con Kids. There are all of our friends in New York, Delaware, for helping out and supporting the show. That being said, I want to thank you all for watching this edition of the Phillies Postgame Show. I'm Jesse. That's Freddy. Have a good one, and let's go, Phils.
The Vikings.
Swing and a drive, left field. It's gone. It is gone. It is Bedlam at the bank.
The Philadelphia Phillies are 2008 World Champions of Baseball.
Podcast right here. You already know. Go fucking subscribe.
You are now listening to the 302 Birds Phillies postgame show with KJ McCoy, Ballpark Tommy, Dalt, and Fratty. Proudly powered by TickPick. Check out the link in the bio for $10 off your first order today.